Okay, we are doing the Inventor Expo marker tutorial. So we're going to go through the same steps that we did last time, just digging through this. It's all pretty much the same connections, all the same stuff, extruding stuff. You're going to have a tube that looks like that. You're going to bevel one in just like this, and then we'll flip it over, and we should have what looks like an Expo marker at the very end, okay? So let's go through this quickly. And I think everybody should be pretty sure about themselves on clicking on Inventor. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our desktop and click on the eye icon that looks like this. And once you click on that eye icon, you pull up Autodesk Inventor. All right, so you're going to click File, New, and then click Standard.ipt according to this sheet. And then it says on the second button, it says change the unit of measurement. So we're going to make sure under the Tools tab, Document Settings, and select the units. We're going to make sure that this says millimeters, not inches. So we're going to go to millimeters, and click Apply, and Close. Alright, so the next one is, the third button says click a 2D sketch. So you're going to go back to 3D model up here at the top left. Start 2D sketch. Click XY plane, just like we always do. Alright, choose the circle tool and start at the origin and release the mouse and to lock the circle in place. Now, we're going to dimension the circle, so we select the dimension tool, highlight the circle and pull out. I want the circle to be 7 millimeters. So I click that. Let me get my num lock on here. Alright, so 7 there and click check mark. So there's a 7 millimeter circle. Click finish sketch. Okay, so we just selected the dimension tool, went to 7 millimeters and click finish sketch, so we're there. We're going to extrude the sketch, so we'll go up to the 3D model tab and click extrude. I want it to be out 30 millimeters, so there, right there's 10. I'm going to change it to 30. Click OK and click the home button. That's that little house there, okay? So next is, it says, let's go to our sheet here. Our sheet, we just got through the dimensioning the circle. Now we're going to go bevel the edge of the marker chamfer tool. So we're going to be sure that the 3D model tab is clicked. Choose the chamfer tool and click on the front edge of the circle as shown. So we're going to click on that front edge just like we did with the pencil. Choose the second button, that's this button right here. That's the distance and angle button. So chamfer the edge to a distance of 1 and at an angle of 45 degrees. So that means you're going to slice at 45 degrees. The distance from the slice would be 1 millimeter, okay? So that's what that means. So let's go back. So let's click on chamfer. Alright, the chamfer tool is up here. It says chamfer applies a bevel to one or more component edges. So I'm going to click that little slice area right there. Click the second button for distance and angle. When you hover over it, it should pull up, but it's not doing that right now. It's now it says chamfer the edge to a distance of 1, not distance of 2, and 45 degrees. So make sure you click face, and then the edge needs to be that edge there. So I'm going to undo, well, I'll let you go with that. Just remind me if you need that. So click check mark there, so we've got a beveled edge there. Remember, you can click the corners to see a little clearer image of that. Alright, so we clicked OK. Now we're on this next part, which says right down here. Now we're going to put a rectangle inside of that little edge that we have. So we're going to click on the front face of the circle, click on 2D sketch command, sketch a rectangle on the front of the chamfer plane, and do not begin the rectangle on the origin yellow dot. Begin sketching it to the left and below the origin. So begin sketching to the left and below the origin. So that means that left bottom arrow down there. So hey, how are you, sir? Recording a video. So I don't remember where I stopped here. So we clicked on the front face of the circle. We're going to click on create 2D sketch command. We're going to sketch the rectangle on the front of the chamfer plane, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So I'm going to flip this around and click start 2D sketch on this little edge right here. Click my rectangle and don't put it on the origin. It says go to the bottom left and then drag up just like that. And now we're going to dimension it. So if you'll look at the next part, it says dimension the rectangle. So what's it going to be? 2 millimeters horizontally. That's the top of the line over here, and then 4.5 millimeters vertically. So that's this way here. All right. So 2 millimeters this way and 4.5 millimeters this way. Don't panic. When you dimension the rectangle, it will be outside the inner circle. Therefore, you will need to dimension the rectangle to the base of the marker and follow the steps below. And we're going to do that down here, so don't worry. Okay, so let's go back over here. And we're going to dimension this 2 millimeters. That's the top horizontal line. Then we're going to dimension the side 4.5 millimeters. And then hit check mark. Alright, so this is the part where you're not supposed to panic. Okay? So hang on, we're going to go to the next step. Alright. So dimensioning the rectangle to the center of the marker base. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the vertical side, that's the right side. And then right here it says, back again. Here we go. So we're going to click on the vertical side, the right side of the rectangle, then click on the right side of the inside circle and dimension to 1 millimeter. So we're going to spread that apart 1 millimeter, okay? So let's go do that now. So we're going to click on dimension of the right side and the inside circle where we want that to be 1 right here. Bam. Okay? So now we're going to go to the next part. And then it says... so click, okay, let's get a little, it's hard to read this because it's fuzzy. So click on the top of the inner circle, yellow, and then click on the top horizontal line and dimension to 2.3 millimeters. The rectangle should now fit perfectly inside the inner circle, and click Finish Sketch. Okay, I just found out I don't want to follow the rules here. I want to change something on this handout because it's not as clear as it should be. So let's go back. This is what I want you to have, this purple rectangle. So I'm going to click undo and show you what I did to get to that point. So we're going to try and we're going to center up this rectangle. So let me go back to where the rectangle was. All right, so this is where we were, where I left you off. You had 2 millimeters for this side and 4.5 millimeters for this side. And then I want you to do me a favor. So click dimension, click the origin. So, well, let me show you what's wrong here. All right, let's go back. All right, so right here. So if you go back and look at this, it says under dimensioning the rectangle to the center of the marker base. This wasn't quite as clear. It didn't quite fit what I wanted it to do. I tried that, the dimensions here to do 1 millimeter and 2.3 millimeters, but it didn't do quite right. So I'm going to go back and show you what I did here. So let's look at this. So I'm going to click the center of the origin right here where the marker is, and then I'm going to click the outer edge. So if you'll notice that the top length is 2 inches, but when I go from center to the outer side, that should be 1 inch. That should be halfway. So I'm going to make that halfway by making that a 1, and that centers it up, scoots it over a little bit. All right, then we're going to go dimension. Now we're going to click the origin again and the left side button. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Made a mistake. Alright, double click that, hit 1 again, and check mark. Now we'll click dimension and we're going to go from the origin and to the bottom green line, pull it over. That should be half of 4.5. So I could treat this just like a calculator if I move my face out of the way. And then type in 4.5 and then I'm going to divide it by 2. You see how there's a division symbol there? So I'm going to click the check mark there. So half of 4.5 is 2.25. Now you see how that purple rectangle is exactly lined up center with that point. That's how I want to do that. So let's go back and finish up. Now let's look at our extrude sketch. Hold on just a minute. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to extrude the sketch this time. So let's read this. It says click the home view to put the marker in isometric view. Then choose the extrude command and move the cursor over the rectangle to select it. And then extrude the distance 10 millimeters and click OK. So let's do that, 10 millimeters. Now, Okay, 3D model, extrude the rectangle, 10 millimeters. Boom, did it. And click check mark, and I'm done. So now you look just like the paper does, just like this, except it doesn't have that little slant to it. We'll get to that in a second. And it says, now we're going to do chamfer tool. So we're going to chamfer the top edge of the rectangle to a distance of 4. So it means, in other words, I'm going to, this distance where the cheese, like, you sliced it 45 degrees, that distance is 4 millimeters. So that's what they're talking about. So like that. Okay? So we're going to go distance of 4 millimeters and 45 degrees. Click OK, add the material color, make it all beautiful and print it off. And that's what we're going to do right now. So we're going to click chamfer. Let me see if I can remember how I did this. So I click the distance, the second button there, distance angle, and then I click the top edge like that, and then I click the face edge just like that. Oh, it's supposed to do 4 millimeters, right? And then face edge. There we go. That'll work. So, well, that's what you're looking for. You click the top and the front, just like that. So we're going to go back 4 millimeters, and it's going to be at a 45-degree slant. Make that happen. Click check mark, and we're done. All right, so now we're going to go over and click the quick access toolbar up here. I want to change my material to whatever I want. I can make it a diamond. Let's do, no, you can't see that when I print that off. Let's see if I can, exterior beige. Let's do huh? All right, let me print this off, guys, and I'll be right there. Hang on, file, print, move your face out of the way, and print, and then we're done with the Expo marker. I don't know how good this video was, but there's the shape.